everyone. So today in this lecture I am going to talk about how to generate a square lattice for MD simulation. So in my last lecture I have described how to generate a lattice, the theory part of that of this lecture. So today I am going to talk about how to write a code for that and how to generate that square lattice for MD simulation position initialization. So in MD molecular dynamics, so you know that there are several crucial steps which are basically the position initialization, velocity initialization, and the propagator, which is the integrator like velocity Varlet or velocity Varlet or Varlet algorithm, or then next the calculation of force. So these are the main crucial steps in molecular dynamics. So the one of the most crucial steps is the position initialization. So today I am going to show you how to generate a square lattice, so which is 2D Bravais lattice, as you already know, as I have already described. So if you haven't watched the lecture, please go through my channel, and in the section in the playlist of molecular dynamics you can find the lecture how to generate lattice. So now let's start writing a code of how to generate a square lattice. So let's open a Vim editor. So let's say square.f90. Okay, so then next write your program name, then lattice, then obviously the most important implicit none statement, and then you have to specify several parameters. So one of the parameter is basically the density, so density of your system. So now you have to specify the density of your system. So let's say I denote it by a real star a parameter, let's say rho, which is equal to, let's say 0.5 something, some density you have to specify. Now you have to specify the number of particles in your system, so which is also a parameter in part, let's say 256 particles. So as we already know that it is basically 2D system. So and 16 cos 16 is basically 256, right? Yeah. So then now so that will be the even if we choose other number like 250, so there will be 6 particle less. So that's why it's a good choice to choose a number which is a square. So you can choose any number which is a square, right? So let's say 17 cos 17, which is basically 289. You can also choose 289, so which is basically 17 cos 17. So it is basically an evenly spaced number. So if you choose like 249 or something, some other number, there will be some other particle, some of the particles will be vacant. So some of the position of the lattice will be vacant. So that's a defect, you can say. So next what you have to mention is basically the simulation box size, so which you can calculate from rho and n part. So as I already mentioned that in that lecture, that Lx and Ly, so which are also some real variable and real parameter basically. So Lx, which is basically equal to square root of in part. So okay, so Lx is basically square root of in part. So as you know that Lx into Ly is basically your, so what is rho? So rho in 2D system is basically the so number density, which is basically the rho. So number density means what? So number density means the number of particles divided by the area. So the number density rho is basically the n part by Lx into Ly, right? So here it is 2D, so there will be no volume. So n part by Lx into Ly is basically our number density, so rho. So now, so what will be our then Lx and Ly? So that if this is Lx and Ly are equal, then you can write them as L. So let's write as Lx and Ly. So that will be square root of n part divided by rho, right? And also as our Lx and Ly are equal, so we can just equate Ly as Lx. Ly is equal to Lx. So nextly we have to specify the lattice spacing, which is also, which you can define as a parameter, or you don't need to define it as a parameter. So let's define some real type variable which I will be needing. So let's say, which is basically lattice spacing, and then which is basically the x coordinate, let's say xx, and y coordinate, let's say yy, and then I will be needing some integer type variables also, which I will define like x num and y num, and a particle counter. So I will be needing the particle counter because we want to generate only 256 particle, not more than that. So that I will be needing the particle counter. So I will take care of the number of particles I am generating in each step, and whenever it reaches 256, I will just close the infinite do loop. So let's define the lattice spacing. So which is basically the lat space. Let's define as lat spa. So lattice spacing is basically equal to, so it is basically equal to square of the area, which is basically Lx star Ly, okay, divided by your number of particle. Okay, so lattice spacing is basically this thing, because the total area, if you divide the total area by your n part, so you will be getting the how much a atom will take to space for how the spacing of one particle. So that is the distance of one particle to place in a lattice. So now so x position, let's define that x position, which is basically xx, to be at lat spa, which is the lattice spacing, and also the y position to be at lattice spacing. Okay, so now so after defining this, let's define x num and y num, so which is number of particle in a particular row, which is row and column. So now what is basically our x num? So that is basically so I will define a float function. So float function is basically give you the nearest integer value. So as x num and y num are the integers, so it will give me the nearest integer value. So that is basically Lx by your lattice spacing, because so how many particles are there in particular size. So it is a 2D box, so one side is Lx and of the simulation box, and another side is Ly. So Lx by lattice spacing, so lattice spacing is basically the spacing needed to be placed in one place one particle. So if you divide the total simulation box length by the lattice spacing, you will get the number of particles to be placed. So y num is basically similarly float function Ly by y num, that lat spacing, lat spa, and then so now we are somehow there almost, and we have to define the particle count to be 1, because we have only placed only one particle, which is basically this particle I have placed, and then we have to place other particles. So now so let's open to do loop. So do, okay, so I have to define integer type of variables I and j, And okay, so next so let's open two do loops, which is basically I going from x to x num, 1 to x num, and do j going from 1 to y num. Now so x particle count, so the first particle I have to place, so where I have to place, so that is basically I into your lattice spacing. So whenever I is equal to 1, so it is basically lattice spacing plus, okay, so lattice spacing minus lattice spacing by 2.0 d0, let's say. Okay, so when I have, so I am starting I am starting to fill up the whole square lattice from a by 2, a by 2, a by 2. So sorry, a by 2 and a by 2. So x particle count, so particle count is 1. So for first loop particle x of 1 is basically I into lattice spacing I is equal to 1 for both of the cases. So first particle will be placed at a by 2, and similarly just copy this line and make it y. So y coordinate of the particle is that j into this thing. So the first particle will be placed at I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 1, so it will be like L by lattice spacing by 2, lattice spacing by 2, so it will be placed at that position. Then in next loop I is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, so it will be placed at L by 2 comma 2 minus L by 2, which is basically 3 by 2. So lattice spacing by 2. So now now what I have to do is basically I have to increase the particle count, because I have already defined that to be this particle count to be 1 before starting the loop. Now I have given a position to a particle, so now I have given a position to particle number 1. Now I have to increase the particle number, so which is basically the particle count I am defining here. So next loop is basically I is equal to 1, j is equal to 2. The particle count will be 2, because I have positioned already particle number 1, which has coordinate x1 y1. Then the next I will place x1 y2, then x1 y3, likewise this. So now so x and y are basically two real type of arrays, so of dimension basically n part, because we have n part number of particles x and y, so like this. And then what I have to do is basically, if my particle count is greater than n part, I will just close the loop, or I will just exit from the loop. So this is my x condition, and then again if my particle count is this is the y condition, and if my particle count is greater than n part, so then also I will exit the y condition, so undo. And what I have to do is basically now I have already defined everything. So now just to show you how the lattice structure will look like, so I just going from 1 to n part. So I'll just write a file to show you how the lattice will look like. So x of I and y of I, so which is the x position and y position, and do, and then in program. So now we have written a code on how to generate a square lattice basically. So now we have to open the file here. Let's open a file of unit is equal to 12, file name which is basically square.dat, let's say, and then so what is the action is basically write. So now I have written the code, let's save it, and let's open a new tab and then just run the code. So that is basically square.f90. Okay, so okay, to define several things, so which is basically here. Here the comma will be not there, and then what I have to define. Okay, that is only because of that comma, so just let's clear it. Okay, we are done. Now let's open the file, how it looks. So okay, now just open GNUplot and then set your size to be square. SQ means square, and then plot that sq.dat using 1:2 with point type 7, point size 2. No, so as you can see, so we can make it no title. Okay, no title. Okay, so as you can see here, if you have generated the square lattice, so as you can see it is placed, so there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 particles in x direction and also in y direction. So that's why I choose basically 17 square. So let's square.f90. Now if you open GNUplot and then plot it, so we'll get 17 along this direction and 17 along this direction. So likewise you can generate the whole square lattice. So this is my lecture on how to generate a square lattice, and this initial condition you can use in molecular dynamics simulation. So in my next lecture I am going to generate the triangular lattice. So then I will show that how to generate a 3D lattices, so which you can use in molecular dynamics program and in my later lectures. So thank you for watching this video. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and if you haven't watched my other videos on physics to computation, so you can have a look on that. So I hope you'll be enjoying the course. Thank you.